First things first, talk us through that epic run battle in San Francisco from each of your perspectives.
First, me. Yeah, I was faster out of transition, and then after 3 kilometers, Marten passed me really fast. I just thought, maybe I can go with him for as long as possible, and I just could hold him for 200 meters, and then he bridged the gap to Kyle, and after 8 kilometers, I think I bridged also the gap, and then we just three together, and we know, that's the podium. And then we did a little bit of tactics, and nobody wants to run in front because we had headwind, and I know that Marten is, I think, a good sprinter because he is from the short distance, and so I tried to attack early, and with 1 kilometer left, and I attacked, but I couldn't lose them, and then they passed me, and then I attacked again, and but I couldn't lose them, and in the end it was just on the grass, and it was slippery, and I couldn't sprint, and they were better, so I just could see from behind Kyle and Marten running to the finish line, but it was amazing to run so long with them.
Yeah, for me, I think that he explained it quite well. I think that maybe I went a little bit quick out of T2 because I was, especially on Kyle, that was quite a decent gap, and I knew that he was going to be like a big guy, like the man to beat maybe in that race, and I knew I had to do everything to close it. So I passed Rico's group, and I kind of like left them behind quite quickly. But then once I reached Kyle, I was kind of dead already, and I didn't really want to run in the front, especially with the wind. But to be honest, I was kind of like impressed that Rico closed the gap later still, because again, like he was alone in that wind to catch up with us. And then like he calls it tactical play, but I think he was kind of like aiming at me because I took a gel before one of the 180s, and this guy starts like full on sprinting with like 5K to go, I think it was still.
That's his chance to get him away.
So that really kind of hurt me because your heart rate already spikes a bit when you start taking a gel. And then I think we came up to 1 kilometer, and I don't want to give away too much of my tactics, but like if you go to a sprint and you try at 1 kilometer, I think you're not really confident in your sprint maybe. So I kind of felt like, okay, Rico, we kind of got him covered maybe, and it's gonna be me versus Kyle. But then, he kept kind of like upping the speed, and I just tried to hang on. And then, once I saw the grass, I was just full on trying to not really look around, and I think it was just a bit survival mode, just trying to get the legs in front of each other and not fall over. But it was epic to have that battle and share it with Rico and with Kyle. Actually, I think that we really made that race exciting, and also on the bike as well. It was us three that kind of made the race as well. We were off the front for most of the race. We got caught in the last 1.5 lap, I think. But so it was kind of cool to have the same guys that kind of push the bike to push the run as well, and have such a close battle. That's pretty epic.
Marten just said it, Rico. Throughout that run, it looked like you put in multiple big, hard surges to try and break the race. What was your thinking behind that?
Yeah, it was because I know that I'm not the really best sprinter, or especially against both, and so I've tried it earlier. So because I know that I'm good in running a high speed, but for a longer time. So I tried, with 5 kilometers left. Maybe if I stay there in a 3:10 pace, then I would break them, and so that was my tactics behind this. And but they both are really strong, and it's difficult to break them.
What did you learn from that battle, and what do you have to do to not come third if it happens again?
I trained a little bit on my sprint, and so this time I would stay longer behind and try to do it also just attack later and then just doing the sprint.
Marten, that was your first race over 100k. Firstly, what did you learn? And is it worrying for the rest of the field that seemingly you're only going to improve as you race this distance more?
Well, I think also though that the race in San Francisco kind of played in my cards a bit, because I'm probably one of the lighter guys in the field. So having that elevation, like quite a technical course where you don't just have to sit like 80 kilometers in the time trial position, I think it kind of played into my cards. And then in the end, having a bit more of a tactical run with a fast sprint finish probably also again played a bit in my cards, especially at that time. But yeah, I do hope that I have a little bit of extra margin still, and can improve now that I'm like fully focused on time trialing, on the longer distance, and like on getting this format like completely figured out.
Does racing Marten excite you or scare you?
Excite me. So it's always cool to race against the best athletes in the world. So that's why it's very cool to be in the T100, because it's always a very competitive field. And yeah, everybody knows that Marten is really a good athlete and he never lost a middle distance race. So yeah, it's really cool to race against him, and yeah, I want to beat him.
You haven't lost over middle distance, but you came 22nd at the Olympics, and you've expressed disappointment in your performance there, Marten. How much does that drive you to ensure that you have success for the rest of the year in the T100?
Yeah, actually a lot, because like ending my short course career with that disappointment, like kind of give me a feeling of like maybe a what if feeling, and a feeling where I feel like I didn't maybe squeeze out everything I have for the short distance. And I really feel like I have to do everything right for long distance, but I feel that I am better suited for long distance. And I think with that mindset of kind of wanting to do everything right now as well, I think it's only going to help me like being very professional and be like just trying to get like all the best out of me for T100 now.
Rico, so far you've had some mixed results, but find yourself in 6th place in the standings. Can you force your way into the title battle for the T100 World Tour?
Yeah, I think I want to step up there, and with another good result, I can cut out my Miami result, so this is still in. And I hope that at the weekend I have then 3 good results, and then hopefully I'm in the top 5. And yeah, then we have 2 races left, and so yeah, there's much of an opportunity to do a good end of the season here.
Marten, with Sam Long, Magnus Ditlev and Kyle Smith not here, is there real opportunity to make up major ground on them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, some of the highest ranked guys are not here, and I'm here, so that's a really good opportunity. But yeah, there is some pressure as well now, because there is not that many races anymore before the grand final, so I'm gonna have to like get them right and do well as well. So it kind of like, it gives a big opportunity, but it also brings quite a bit of pressure, because yeah, I have to do well to end well in the rankings.
There's a little bit of a running joke that has a hint of seriousness about it, that if it's above 16 degrees Celsius, Rico Bogen can't perform. He needs it to be super cold to have a good race like San Francisco. It's going to be above 16 degrees here in Ibiza on the weekend. What do you make of the conditions and the course when it comes to your own race, but also Rico's?
Well, I think it's not going to be that warm, because it's going to be early morning still, and it's going to be windy. So I actually think that it might be conditions that suit Rico quite well. But yeah, the windy part, I think that's definitely going to play into, like, that's definitely going to shape the race, because it's going to make the race a lot harder than it would maybe be on a wind still perfect sunny day. So yeah, like, I think that by the end of the run, maybe it will also be warm. So I think it might become a battle of attrition.
Does that scare you, Rico?
No, it's getting lower and lower. I thought 18 is the line, but no, I also trained it, so because no, that's my small weakness, and I trained the heat. So, and here it should be going 23, so it's not that hot. So I think it should be okay. And also in the city, the buildings are very high, so we have a little bit of shadow. So it should be okay. And yeah, also with the wind, I think this suits more the strong athletes because you have to push the high watts. And I think this suits me. And yeah, in the end, it's the run battle. I just won the course yesterday. It's a hard climb there. So I think this 7 times this makes an impact. But yeah, let's see how it is.
Okay, so now the time comes where you have to call people out. Who do you have your eye on competition-wise this weekend?
Yeah, for sure Riel Cohen is, I think, back in good shape. And also we have this time 4 German guys with Max Sperr, Frederik Funk and Mika. So I think we are the biggest nation. And yeah, they are all very good. And let's see how Mattis is coming back. He had a little bit of injury. But I think he's also a strong athlete. So I think he can damage a little bit on the bike. And yeah, let's see how his run performance is. But yeah, it's very difficult to pick one athlete.
Yeah, I think the same. Like there's a lot of people that can do well. That's what you get when you put like 20 of the best in the world on the line. But for me also, like I think Yuri is probably going to be wanting a really good performance, like show up after his Singapore win again. And I'm maybe like a bit like thinking of Max Neumann as well, because like he's such a dark horse that like you never know. And this is Ibiza. We know what happened last time when there was the T100 party in Ibiza. Neumann took it, so yeah, I think we could see like some surprises as well. And yeah, we'll see. I hope that I can break up the German championship here.
Rico Bogen, Marten Van Riel, good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.